As the political temperature is rising in the Middle East, South Africa's governing party, the ANC, has once again made a clarion call to the world not to turn a blind eye on the horrific situation in Gaza. ANC deployee and DECO Minister Dr. Naledi Pandor has called on the multilateral organizations to push for Israel to stop the genocide in the besieged enclave. This comes as yet another global body, the United Nations Human Rights Council, adopted a resolution for Israel to be held accountable for crimes against humanity in the Strip.
There are many who share our commitment to the just cause of the people of Palestine. So I'm sure those who support that cause cannot vote for a party that wouldn't or that does not. I also don't quite agree when you say churches and seem to imply all. I suppose you're referring to Christian churches, I'm not sure, because I will invite you to a public meeting at a church that I will be addressing soon, which is led by one of the persons that accompanied the delegation led by Reverend Frank Chikani, which was a group of church leaders who decided to spend Xmas with Christians in Palestine.
On another burning conflict between Russia and Ukraine, Pandor says they're pushing for the two countries to a round table for peace negotiations.
We've been participating, I think I've stated this before, you'd be aware, in the various meetings that have deliberated on the 10-point peace plan presented by President Zelensky to many countries that they've asked to be part of these discussions. We began initially as 9 countries. It's now grown to much more, involving several other European countries that are part of these meetings. Essentially, I believe that we've reached a point where we need to get Russia into the room.
Here in the continent, DRC also featured prominently as Pretoria calls for the cessation of hostilities in the eastern DRC. South Africa deployed soldiers in that country as part of the SADC peacekeeping mission.
It's a SADC mission. It's not a South African mission. And I believe that South Africa has an important role to play in bringing peace to the DRC. I believe what should happen alongside the military deployment, and I believe that will ensue soon, is there should be a diplomatic track as well. And we will be setting that in motion in support of Angola's role as facilitator between DRC and Rwanda.
Meanwhile, President Cyril Ramaphosa will attend the commemoration of genocide against the Tutsis in Rwanda on Sunday. Pandor says this is an absolutely key moment for the East African nation.
We never ask questions about commemoration when it's the Holocaust commemoration. But when it's genocide in Rwanda, you pose the question. Countries can decide what it is they commemorate, just as we on March 21 commemorate the events of Sharpeville. So must the world commemorate other tragic events that they have experienced. And I believe that given what the world is experiencing today with the onslaught against the people of Palestine, it is important that we mark in very direct terms the question of genocide. So I think it's important that South Africa is there represented at very senior levels to show and stand shoulder to shoulder with the people of Rwanda.
The governing party further says it will never tire to advocate for global peace and the need to silence the guns on the continent. Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.